So this is kind of fun. I'm going to show you how a stitch is actually made. So I'm going to hold on to both my needle and my bobbin thread. So the machine thinks that there's fabric here, but there's really not. And as I turn the hand wheel towards me, you're going to notice that the needle's going to go down. And in a little bit here, there's some thread that crosses over the top of that bobbin. And then you bring the needle all the way up. And now there is a little twist in the two threads. So there's a hook that takes the needle thread and wraps it around the bobbin. And that sequence actually is 2 revolutions for every 1 stitch, which is pretty amazing. So anytime that you might have some issues with stitching, you might keep in mind that that thread must pass through that area, that bobbin area, where sometimes a lot of lint builds up. So make sure you get underneath this throat plate and clean it out. The other thing that I sometimes find in my students' machines is that when they've wound a bobbin, there's the little tail that comes up the top of the bobbin and it's not all the way cut off. It's kind of sticking up. So every time that this thread crosses over the top of the bobbin, it has to flip past that little nub of thread. So make sure that you always have a clear bobbin, no tail sticking out. So if you're ever having trouble with your stitches or your thread breaking, first change your needle and clean the machine and make sure there's nothing kind of interfering with that thread as it has to pass over that bobbin for every single stitch you take.